No rest for the weary. It was just last week J.R. Shepherd was able to fend off a late race charge from Joshua Banks to earn his, get this, 21st Bootleg Racing League Championship. And now here we are again, just 7 days later, ready to get a brand new season underway. The point slate has been wiped clean, but each driver's mental chalkboard that tracks all the "who did me wrongs" never gets erased. So to quote the Staple Singers, let's do it again! Sponsored by the Cruise Shop and sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League, it's the Outlaw Modified Series 2019 Spring Season debut right here from Five Flags Raceway. And you can see all the simulated SK Modified short track action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. Yours truly, Bill Soups on, joined by my longtime boothmate Sean Crackers Ambrose to bring you our Word's Eye view. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, as always, Joe Peak, with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. Sean, they called this place Five Flags, but for the drivers, only one flag matters. That is the checkered one. Tell us a little bit about this place.
Soup, I certainly will. First, you got to get to Pensacola, Florida to get here, and boy howdy, what a beautiful place here in the great state of Florida. You know, they opened this track all the way back in 1953, and Five Flags, well, you know, Pensacola, its nickname, its principal nickname is the City of Five Flags. Hence, Five Flags Speedway, Soup.
Okay.
Now listen, hey, buddy, they're getting things kicked off just next Friday night there at Five Flags. As their season runs from March to October, and well, tonight we're going to kick off the Bootleg Racing League Season 2 here at Five Flags Speedway. What do you need to know about this track? Well, a little bit. It's a half mile. It's a half mile in the racing group. It's actually it's about 100, just over 100 feet shorter on the inner edge. Keep that in mind as we go forward with tonight's 100 laps. Now the track width, it's about 55 feet in the turns, a little wide in the turns, but it narrows down in the straights to about 48 feet. 15 degrees of banking in the turns here, which means it's going to be bad fast. Looking at times already in a low 16-second range. This is a great track. It's a fast track, and it's best seen from on board the GSRC SK Modified here at Five Flags Speedway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik. This is the legendary Five Flags Speedway, and this is the GSRC SK Modified. So without further ado, here we go. This is how you get around this little joint. It's a very unique track because you're always turning to the left. As you can see down here in 1 and 2, you're going to find that white line, come all the way, float back up, still have the wheel turned a little bit back down to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Watch the wheel spin off of the corner. The Modified will want to bite off of that corner, and the rear is going to want to step around them and meet the front of the car. But as I said, it always kind of feels like you're turning left here. As you can see, the wheel never really straightens out. Back down into 3 and 4 again. Watching that wheel spin off of 4. But as you see right here, the start-finish line is almost right in front of the entrance to the corner. So you really are hitting the brakes early and often, and I use the term front straightaway in a very loose fashion here. 3 and 4 again. You don't want to jump down and hit that curbing because you see there's a pit wall waiting for you right there. Really will mess up your entire race. 1 and 2, don't want to hit that wall either. The track kind of opens up a little bit. You might see guys move about a half a lane up, try to get a better run off of the corner. Just have to see how the tires hold off and if the drivers can hold their tempers as well. Five Flags is a fun little short track, half a mile long, and it is a legend in its own right for a reason. So without further ado, this is your track guide around Five Flags Speedway. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back, race fans. That's how you do it here at Five Flags Speedway. You know, that lap guide, as well as everything on this broadcast, is sponsored by the Cruise Shop. The Cruise Shop been in operation since 1986. You know, folks, they're a team of highly experienced travel agents that have a huge passion for travel. They specialize in cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, Disney and family travel, group vacations, honeymoons and weddings, and Soup, they'll even send you to Cuba. John Hine just got back. He's in the field ready to go tonight. Still feeling a little jet lag, but listen, they would love an opportunity to help you plan your next vacation. Give them a call today, 260-755-6125. Get those digits down. Or you know what? Forget the digits. Go to their website, thecruiseshopfw.com. That FW for Fort Wayne, thecruiseshopfw.com. You know, the cruise shop is dedicated to fulfilling their clients' dreams, one destination at a time. And race fans, next Friday night, get on down to Five Flags Speedway for the 2019 WCIParts.com Pro Truck Season Opener. They kick off their season next Friday night here at Five Flags.
We love people to support their local short tracks around the country. It is indeed a wonderful night of entertainment. All right, let's go ahead and look at the driver standings from last season. You know, in China, they have the Ming in college basketball. It is UCLA of the 60s. And here, when it comes to dynasties in the Bootleg Racing League, it is J.R. Shepard. He's got 21 of them. Now, that's not only in the Outlaw Modified. That's over the entire scope of all the series that they run. But he picks up his 21st as he outduels Joshua Banks by a single point. Shepard got the win in the finale. Banks was just one behind him as the race went to yellow the last few laps, and Shepard was able just to coast home with the championship. Donnie Moore, he's got a championship under his belt, maybe more than one. He was 34 points back. Tim Shinasky won the opener, fell off the standings, came back up to finish in 4th position. And a guy to watch out for, Sean, I'm telling you, Season 5, this might be this guy's season. I think he's faster than those 56-point deficit to the leader would indicate. I'm talking about Chris Bassini. Watch out for him. With that out of the way, we're always picking up new viewers, so why don't we take a quick look at the rules as we enter one more season.
The rules, the very important rules, yes. So this is round 1. Of course, we're going to have 11 races like we have every season here in the Bootleg Racing League. It's a 100-lap race tonight. When we get to week 4, we'll mix it up a little bit. We'll do 80 laps at a track that's a little bit longer. Now, the famous thing about the Bootleg Racing League, one of the first out there to really experiment with this and get it down, well, no tires. You can't take them. You got to make them last for this entire 100 laps here at Five Flags tonight. And with that 15 degrees of banking, that's sure to be an issue when it gets to the end of the run, Soup. It is the iRacing fixed setup, and it's a great setup for this car at this track. They've continued to work on that since Season 3 of last year, back in 2018. 2018, how long ago was that? It just seems like it was forever. They do use the NASCAR Lucky Dog. During the caution flags, you're lap down, you get a chance to get it back if you're at the lead of that lap down there. Now, the one fast repair, basically, Soup, it's like having a spare car on the trailer. They'll get one chance to pull a spare car down, get it out on the track. Should they have trouble that results in damage, well, that won't let them get around this track anymore. And one of the really cool things we do is, well, what you're used to seeing at your local short track every Friday and Saturday night, and that is we're going to invert the grid. We're going to do it based on how they finished in that season finale just last week, Soup.
Boy, I tell you, the rule package for this series is just outstanding. As a rule, I am not a fan of the one fast repair, but somehow in this series where things go south so quickly, it doesn't bother me. I kind of like it. You go and get one more. There's a penalty. You go back to the back of the field, so it's not like it's a total just tweaking of the rules. I like it. It's no tires. Oh, man, it's a perfect combination.
Looking out there on track, and just before we got in that lap guide, it said low 16-second laps, and right now it's in practice. It's Jason Menda, the Floridian, maybe getting a little bit of home cooking here in Pensacola tonight. 16 flat, Super 16.065, and that's Tim Shinowski right behind him at 16.076. Really looks like right now the whole field split by 0.3 of a second, Soup.
Jason Menda getting a little energy, probably from some fried alligator. They have alligator down there in Florida.
Yeah,
it
tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. That's what they say. It tasted like alligator when I had it. Let's look through here, see if we have any new names. Not a bunch here. Kurt Meeks, is that a name that I should know? Racing in the 18 machine.
Kurt Meeks. Now, you know, we got an update from Lowell.
We
and I
did.
know he's
We
moving.
pay attention. We get so many of them.
Yeah, no, I don't remember seeing any drivers now. I'm trying to remember. I think Kurt's actually been around. Might be a driver coming back after a long absence. Yeah, no new drivers. I believe Kurt either joined us last season Super again. He's one of those old veteran drivers.
Well, I'm pulling for him.
A long time.
He's in the 87. Let's see what he can do. No, I'm sorry. He's in the 18.
Yeah, I was about to say 87. That's not him. 80, we know who the 87 is. That's good old Todd Liston, the Indiana driver.
Another new name is the 82. At least I'm not familiar with him. He's Joshua Buckley. Out there right now putting in practice times. He's at the bottom of the practice chart, but that doesn't mean anything. Pretty big field here today. It looks like, what, about 21, if I count those up right?
I've got 23. Yeah, I've got 23. Not everybody on track at the moment. You know, speaking of on track, why don't we look at the weather? Take a moment to look at this here, Soup. It's 85 degrees on track. That temperature bound to go up maybe just a little bit. It's not blistering hot, but it's warm. Maybe could get a little greasy before the end of this 100-lap run we're about to see in front of us.
That's some good Florida weather there. 52% humidity. Hey, if you're in Florida, you're happy with that number. Anything that is just 2 digits.
Soup?
Yeah?
Probably should draw our attention to Chris Piscini's Eastport Feeds, number 15 SK Modified. Dr. I believe that says Dr. Soup in crackers on the side of that car. So the New York Panini has given us a little tribute there, Soup.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're still going to call him like we see him.
There's Scotty Zerk. He, of course, joined us last season. Looking for a good run this season. Scotty, another one of those Virginia drivers. We've been talking about them over the last several races of last season. It's a huge contingent we've got here now. James Lowe, Ruben Altice, the Allen boys, Mike and Justin, a bunch of Virginians in here. Matthew Aubrey, Joshua Banks, just full of them here. They were trying to take down all the Northeastern guys, the New Yorkers and the New Englanders.
Where would you say the roots are for this type of racing? It's probably not down south.
You shouldn't ask me that. You shouldn't ask me. That might start an international incident. I would like to think that it started in the Northeast in the. That would be my feeling. The old popular stomping grounds of places like Stafford, old Riverhead Raceway. Been there since 1953. I mean, listen, Soup, you go on and on there. You talk about Bowman Gray down there. Listen, Bowman Gray's about as famous a short track for modified racing as there is in the South. So, again, that would probably start a pretty good argument for where I actually said where it started. So I'll say I think it started in the Northeast. How about that?
There's the bridesmaid from last season, the number 36 car of Joshua. Pardon and thanks, Banks. Missed the championship by a single point, by a single position. You got to wonder if you don't review your season, go back and say, oh, there was a position I could have had there. There was one I could have had there. Hey, the Butler's here.
Yes, the Butler is here, and it looks like that field did not expand, Soup. We're going to go with 23 drivers tonight here in the season premiere of the Bootleg Racing League here at Five Flag Speedway.
On the front row, it's Kurt Smith. He's going to be inside of Matthew Aubrey. James Lowe and Ruben Altice behind him. Well, I'm going to take 10 here. Todd Liston and Chris Piscini fill up row 3. Pardon and thanks, Joshua Banks is going to be in the 7th position. He's going to be just inside of his rival, J.R. Shepard. The row 5 is populated by Mike Allen and the Butler, Dan Butler.
Yes, and then we're going to go to row 6, Soup, and it's going to be Kurt Meeks in the number 18. He will start there in his SK Modified. Go to Jason Menda, our fastest driver in practice. The number 45 going to start in 12. Row 7, Jeffrey Harden in that number 44 SK. He's ready to go. Kenny Kibbe back with us, and in race control while he's driving tonight in that number 14 SK Modified. Row 8, going to be Scotty Zerk in the number 02. Tim Shinowski back with us this season in the 07 SK Modified. And you go to row 9. It's going to be Joshua Buckley in the number 82. And Tristan Martz will start outside him in the number 28, 18. Row 10, our good old friend Donnie Moore in that ASPCA SK Modified. And you know why he's starting back there, Super? Remember, he missed the finale. So he is going to be back there. He got a lot of work to do. Mark Herzog going to start next to him in that Alliance SK Modified, number 57, start 20th. Get these last couple of cars here. Justin Allen in the number 10, 21st. 22nd goes to Andy Tico Torres. And 23rd goes to John Hine. Not Tico Torres, I'm sorry, just Andy Tico.
I'm telling you, folks, watch out for the guys that are back there in row number 6. On the inside, it's Kurt Meeks. We said we're going to pull for him. On the outside, in the 12th position, Jason Menda. He was really fast in practice. Look for him to make up some positions. 100 laps of racing, 11 races on the schedule. It's springtime. It's Saturday night. Chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler, hi-do! Out in front, it is Kurt Smith jumping from the pole. Dropping into second, James Lowe. Matthew Aubrey slots into third. Liston and Altice in a battle out there with Joshua Banks.
Scrambling at the back of the field starts with Tim Shinowski. Scotty Zerk going side by side. Shinowski cuts down the track and takes the low line.
Up front, going to the high side was Kurt Smith. He left the door open. James Lowe puts his foot in and says, "Why don't you buy a vacuum cleaner?" And he takes the lead, bringing Todd Liston with him. Kurt Smith on the high side, he's letting them all go by, including drivers like Joshua Banks, Matthew Aubrey.
Sue back here watching a lot of pressure right now. J.R. Shepard's getting a bunch of her. Mike Allen, and the 11 of Ruben Altice slips up the track. Opens the door for Dan Butler and Jason Menda coming through back there.
Don't go to the top side. It's bad news up there. You will get freight train.
Remember, that low line, Soup, 100 feet shorter around this track.
But does it abuse the rubber? That's what I want to know. Matthew Aubrey in third. He's got the big names behind him. Banks and Shepard. Oh, here comes Banks looking to dive underneath. He's going to get it. And that means, I don't know if Aubrey's going to be able to get back down to the low side there. I think he might be able to.
Better drop it in now. He's got Piscini, Allen right behind him. Mike Allen making a run there on the top side, trying to get around Piscini. They continue to go side by side. Piscini almost gets into the back there of Matthew Aubrey.
You look at it. Car ducking to the inside. You're looking at Kurt Smith a little farther back, about fourth in line from where you're watching. He gets to the inside. He's our pole sitter. He got stuck up high. He gives a little bit of a shove to Mike Allen. He gets pushed out of the way. That's going to open the door. Here he comes in the black number 45, Jason Menda.
Menda trying to get this worked out down there. He's still stuck behind him. Allen's not going to let him have it.
Fight up in front. It is James Lowe who's opened up about let's call it 8 car lengths lead on Todd Liston.
Menda going for another spot here, Sue. Trying to get under Altice. He's got it. Ooh, he's a little tight down there low. I wonder if that left front maybe scuffed the wall. He was getting through the turn. He cut it off really hard.
Menda up into 9th. I hear a little bumping and banging. Somebody got in the wall, but we keep racing. They were 3 wide a ways back. Little getting together. You know, John Hine got together with Andy Tico, but they keep racing.
Well, there's a log jam back here at 15th, Sue. Scotty Zerk right now has got Donnie Moore just breathing down his neck. Martin Herzog has come along with Donnie Moore from the back of the field there. Those two trying to get through quick.
Work lap number 13. We have been green so far. Nice battle back. We were looking at it for 16th. That's Herzog and Moore going at it. There's the 57 of Herzog fighting. Joshua Buckley doing a good job back in 18th position on the outside of Tristan Martz. Great.
Oh, Shepard enlisted with a little bit of trouble here on track. And that was not what started the caution, though.
Kurt Smith.
Yeah, Kurt Smith goes for a wild ride there, Soup. And it started, unfortunately, with contact between him and I think that was the number 95, actually. Yes, it was Matthew Aubrey.
Well, Aubrey isn't all the way up to the wall. I don't know if he has to be up to the wall there.
I think what happened, I think Aubrey loses it a little bit. I think the momentum of the car carried him up there. He tried to snap it back. And as he did, there he makes the contact there with Kurt Smith. I think he was hanging on for dear life, to be honest with you, Soup. I think it was running up the hill on him. He cranked on that wheel back to the left, makes the contact with Kurt, and that's well, Kurt's going to need that spare car off the Featherlight trailer back there.
He was upside down. Something you taught me is that the fuel can run out of your car, can drain out of your car if you leave it upside down for too long. You want to get it, take that toe up.
It can in this modified. We've seen it happen before. I don't know if that was something they addressed or changed, but
I like it.
Yes, at one time it did do that. Maybe someone in the peanut gallery will chime in. We've got a lot of professionals out there watching this evening, so.
Well, we had a pretty good run there considering the size of the field. We went to lap 17 before we went to yellow.
I couldn't agree with you more. I thought that was a heck of a run. Great way to start this race this evening.
So what's the story? Well, James Lowe started inside of row 2. Was able to negotiate his way all the way up to the front. Kurt Smith, our pole sitter, well, he's been upside down, so he's well back. And Matthew Aubrey, that's the guy who he got together with. Then there's Joshua Banks. He's racing, going to start on the outside of the front row with J.R. Shepard underneath. Would not be surprised if by the time they come around first lap of green, if that number 98 is not in front of the 36.
Competing for the lead of this race already. Yeah, that kind of crossed my mind too, Soup. Hey, you know what? It never gets old here in the Bootleg Racing League. Great racing. Here we go, Soup.
Great start from James Lowe, and sure enough, the 98 is now side by side with Banks, and he's got the position. Banks is up on the top side, and this is an opportunity the guys cannot pass up. Chris Bassini in the 15 gets underneath him as well, and Todd Liston says, not on my watch, as Todd Liston gets the 87 underneath.
Yeah, Soup, it's really going to be tough here to get anything done on the top side, at least right now. I really got to try and drop in line and look for those passing opportunities when you get them. Aubrey just getting freight trained on the outside right now. Kenny Kibbe just hanging on behind him.
Yeah, you're almost better just to sacrifice a position at the start to try to get down underneath. Great side-by-side racing there. We're watching for 6th position. Chinaski underneath. Mike Allen gets past the 11 now, comes in there. That is Ruben Altice.
Boy, look at Chinaski just get away and get right to work there on the 87 of Todd Liston. Shot out of the cannon. Liston, got to be careful, almost up in the wall. You got to keep this modified off the wall. Mike Allen in the wall. Was that Allen in the wall, Soup?
I think it was, and we stayed under.
Oh, it was Menda and Allen on the front straight.
No.
It was Menda and Allen on the front straight. That brings out the caution. Wow.
And then I think Aubrey gets a piece of it going by, but I think it's going to be be okay.
Allen gets the wall coming off of 4. Watch the 59, the orange and white Clarence Steakhouse SK Modified. Coming out of 4, he's going to slap it.
Yeah.
You know,
I maybe think Mike Allen maybe started to turn in for corner 1 a little early. Watch the white and orange car here.
You know, for a moment it looked like he made contact and then came back across track. I guess I'm wrong. No, it wasn't close enough, but you do see it turn left. He could have been fighting the same thing that we saw out of Aubrey on that first caution flag soup. Coming off of 4, the car got a little wicked, and he tried to catch it, and it bit to the left on him.
Oh, you are kind. You are a kind man.
No, I'm just thinking like I'm in.
Mike Allen send you like a coupon for a pizza or something?
We've talked.
Okay. All right. Well, we go yellow for the second time. James Lowe doing a good job out in front. Shepard. Now here's the news. Shepard got the advantage last time. He was in the 3rd position. This time he's not going to be so lucky. He's going to be starting outside of row 1. That means that Chris Bassini is going to be in that spot there on the inside of row 2. Let's see if he can do to Shepard what Shepard did to Banks last time we went green.
Well, Soup, quarter this race down, and I think we're starting to see a little bit of tire wear on those right rear tires. Again, the nature of this 15-degree banking and trying to keep that car down there on the bottom. Yeah, burning it up just a little bit. Now we get a couple of caution flags back to back, so that's cooled things off a bit. Could get back to one of those longer runs like we saw to start this race here when they drop the green.
Guys that we were pulling for early on, the number 18 of Kurt Meeks, well, he's back in 20th. Things are not going his way.
Yeah, poor Jason Menda.
That's the other one.
Yeah, it's just not, things not worked out for him yet. Long season, he's going to be good.
He had pace, but I believe his night might be over. As he sits in the pits 3 laps down. Considering, he says, man, I could have gone to that birthday party, but no, I stayed here, and now here I am 3 laps down in the pit lane. We're going green! James Lowe gets a great jump. All right, Shepard is on the top side. Is he going to be able to hang on to second position, or does Bassini get some? Bassini backs a 15 down in there, and he's going to be able to hang on to it. Now, can Shepard get underneath? Oh. Tim Shanoski says, no, we got caution.
Yeah, Justin Allen's going to get tipped by the 57. Just, boy, unfortunately, poor Mark Herzog really had nowhere to go. I mean, he had the momentum, and then that car gets shortened up by Kurt Smith on board here with the 57. Everybody got accordioned up on that restart, to be honest with you, Sue, but I just don't think these cars ever recovered from it back there.
Poor Kurt Smith did not get away from it. That's Herzog. Herzog then hits the brake, and there's Smith right in behind him.
Yeah. And Herzog is the unfortunate victim of a modified that is now about 6 feet shorter.
That's and considerably shorter.
He's on his way in to get that spare car.
There's Smith. We right on board with him. Getting into the back of the 57.
Well, we bent up some modifieds right there, Soup. So much for getting back into that run that I suspected we might do.
Not bothering James Lowe.
No,
nobody can pass him as long as it's yellow, baby. He's out there in the number 99.
Famous 99s. Let's see. Where did we go with that?
Or the 66, depending on what on the front or the back string.
Yeah, where you're sitting, right? Or
right.
Where you're spectating from.
99, first thing that comes to mind, I could be wrong. Carl Edwards, does that strike a bell, or am I wrong on that one? Maybe I'm missing that. I'm old.
No, that was Carl Edwards or Jeff Burton.
Okay.
I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember now. My mind went to Mark Gastineau. Nobody's going to know that reference.
New York Jet defensive lineman. Okay.
Well, yes. A gentleman named Brian Greenlee, a racer in the Lionheart IndyCar series, will stand up and shout when he hears that. So,
well, let's set the stage for you again, and the stage keeps changing. All right, the one thing that doesn't change is James Lowe on the pole, but now Pasini is in the the vulnerable position of being in the second spot. And J.R. Shepherd is back into the wonderful spot of being in third. So far, we have not seen the driver outside of row 1 be able to hold on to his spot. The one difference we saw from Shepherd was he only lost one spot. He didn't fall all the way back like Banks when he got freight trained up there. Shinosky is in fourth. Talk about Banks, where's he? Well, my gosh, he just cannot get a break. He's on the outside. He's in sixth.
think they've all got to watch out for Donnie Moore, Soup.
Going green. James Lowe gets the jump. The battle is again for second position, and it's no surprise. There goes the 98. He gets up there. Now, can Pasini get down? He does. The 11 of Altice wants to get underneath as well, trying to poke a nose in there. Pasini says, I got the momentum. Pasini closes the door. Tim Shinosky wants in.
Yeah, Tim almost got hip checked there by Ruben Altice. Had to make an evasive move. He hangs on. God, the car going backwards right now is Mike Allen dropping like a rock through the field, Soup. He got stuck upside, got out of shape, and he's just lost about 7 spots here on this restart.
Look at them battle back in behind. Nose to tail. Sitting back there in the transfer position. The Butler did it. It's Dan Butler looking to go on the pole if things stay like they are till the end of the race. That's not going to happen. John Hine in the Baker's dozen position, back there in 13th.
Soup, they're basically gone single file. About halfway around this track, nose to tail. 60 laps to go.
If there is good news for Chris Pasini, who might be the fastest car on the track, they're faster than James Lowe. That may give Pasini a chance to make a stab at Shepherd. Shepherd's got a race with one eye looking forward, one eye looking back.
Soup, listen, he's got soup and crackers on the side of the car, buddy. It's gotta be worth something. A little bit of extra horsepower, maybe.
We're pulling for him. We encourage all the drivers out there to put the commentators' names on the car. Let's talk about Joshua Banks. He does not seem to be hooked up today. The 36 relegated back to 5th and going nowhere behind Ruben Altice. Tim Shinosky having a good day in 6th. Oh,
and
we got a yellow.
Back out, Soup. We've got another one. Oh, boy, and I think it was Kurt Meeks. It was. Kurt Meeks got tangled up there with Jason Allen.
Oh, was it Justin Allen? Okay,
it was
good.
Justin Allen. It's the 18. I'm sorry, the 10.
Yeah, Jason Menda was next on the scene. Good, I didn't want Meeks and Menda to get together. Those are my 2 picks for the race there. Justin Allen does a good job of the car going straight.
Well, Soup.
I'm surprised.
Go ahead,
buddy. Brought out the yellow. I've seen the iRacing stewards be a little more lenient than that.
Yeah, they did. I think they jumped the gun on it. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Hey, Soup. You know what? I want to.
They anticipated a crash. Is that what you're saying? Kind of
maybe. You know, we've seen that happen before. It's not the first time. So.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, you know what? Today is actually a very, very important day in modified history. In modified racing in general. 32 years ago today, we lost a legend, the great Charlie Jazumbach, multiple time modified champion, was killed, unfortunately, in a race car, and very tragically in the Wilsburg number 5 modified. And 32 years ago today, we lost Charlie J, and I thought it was worth bringing up because it's a pretty everybody thought he was invincible. The guy was Superman in a modified, basically. So, yeah, it was one of those days that most of us would like to forget, but we have to remember because, along with the great Richie Evans, the Bodines, all those guys who basically brought modified racing to prominence. Charlie, unfortunately, never lived out a life fulfilled by making it to the big show, like Mr. Young Ryan Priest, who qualified 16th today for Martinsville. So good luck to him tomorrow in the Cup race there. But back to the modified racing here, Soup. We still got everybody in the field except, well, no, is Mendes still in? No, he's back in the pits. He's coming back down pit lane, but we still got all 23 cars rolling, ready to go.
9 laps down, but there's no die in Menda. Sean, I know your dad did it. Can the guys who we did this real quick here before we go green? Can the guys who are successful, can they make a living at short track racing?
Well, no, I don't think the purses are there, right, unfortunately, anymore for it. No, they all have real jobs, Soup. They hope to make it to the big show sometime, and a lot of them race all the time and can make maybe a modest living at it, but it's tough. A lot of these guys work in the towns they race in.
I like that. All right, we're going to go green again. There's the big jump from low. All right, here we go. We watched the battle this time. Shepard on the outside this time. Here comes Bassini, and sure enough, Bassini's going to get the best of it. Boy, he took it in deep, got it woed up. I was a little worried that Chris was going to drift up into JR, but he kept the inside line. Now Shepard has a hard time. He's got Banks behind him, and Banks is not going to give him that inside line. Shepard gets right on the tail of Bassini, so he can tuck down in there. Banks in fourth. But Sean, after that, they're 2 by 2.
Yeah, 2 by 2. Still trying to get it sorted out here as we get this restart going. Liston side by side. Back there, that's where it starts, and everybody stacked up behind them. Donnie Moore still trying to make his way through to the top 5. So
look at Liston worth the bottom, and look at the 11 of Altice doing a great job of getting some pace up there. Boy, and Geeks has to run off a 4, and I'll be darned if he's not going to hang in there right alongside of Liston. They race side by side. Hey, up in front, Banks is underneath Shepard. This is big news.
It is.
So the 2 guys who race side by side in the championship, right now they are side by side on the track, coming off a 4. There's a dead heat across the line. Banks get credit with leading that time around. Shepard's going to be hard-pressed to make the top side work.
Yeah, if anybody can, it's him, though. We've seen that. I don't know. No, he's not going to get it sorted out there. He's going to live to fight another day. That's fine. He's going to try and cross him over out of 4. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Boy, yeah, he got a good drive out of there. Shepard was struggling the whole front straight. And look at this. I'm sorry, Banks was struggling the whole front straight. Shepard gets it underneath. I think he's going to get the pass made. Lowe and Bassini say, mix it up, boys. We don't want any part of you. This is a 2-car race for the lead. Oh, Sean, they race a triangle position behind.
Liston down there on the bottom, trying to hold off Ruben Altice, who's trying to fight his way in. Now we get a caution. Stacked up just behind them, it was Kibbe and John Hine. Oh, no. And a bunch of cars involved in that. Allen, the 22 in that. That was Dan Butler, gets in the end of that. Here it is on screen. We'll look at the replay.
Looks like
there's Hine.
Kibbe makes a dive underneath. See, now this is short track racing. This isn't road racing. If this was road racing, I'd be saying that Kibbe doesn't have position. Short track racing, he gets a nose in.
Yeah. John left door open a little bit for him there, honestly.
Boy, look at him pile in after that.
Yeah, just rolling junk there. Hine suffers tremendous damage on that right front. That car, the toe, definitely out on the right front of that machine. On board,
and Butler looking for a way around. Oh, ran out of room.
Yeah.
Looked like he had a spot there from the demo, thinking, I'm going to make it. Nope. Well, you don't want to be the driver in second right now. That's Chris Bassini. Because I guarantee you're not going to be in second by the time we go the first lap under green. Now, this is important, though. Shepard was able to fend off Banks. Remember, Banks got around Shepard. That put Shepard in third position. That would have put Shepard in the catbird seat to move up to second. I'm sorry, Banks in that position, but Shepard was able to come back, get that spot back from Banks. So now Shepard is in third spot. Banks will have to be careful that Todd Liston, that 87 car, is really good today.
It is, Soup. It generally is. Todd just never has any luck. Now, listen, he's in a great spot right now. He's just got to keep this thing rolling here for just a little while longer, and he may have a shot to get himself a podium tonight. Who knows, maybe even a win. But Piscini, you talked about him being up there in a spot that nobody really wants to be, starting from the outside. The bad problem is that he's going to have J.R. Shepard right on the bumper there, or low. It's going to be awful hard to find a spot to get down unless he can get the jump.
So who's in the transfer position? Well, it looks like it's going to be Joshua Buckley right now, as he's started to grid on the outside of row 6. The good news is he's in 12th. The bad news is the guy in the Baker's Dozen position back there in 13th, Mark Herzog, will probably end up getting Buckley. They line up 2 by 2. We're going to go green one more time here at Five's Flag.
Just one more time?
This is it. 31 laps to go. We do 19 laps. 19 laps, you tell us to boogie, and then we throw the checkered flag. James Lowe gets the jump. Sure enough, here comes the blue 98 underneath Piscini. Now, Piscini's going to lose that spot. The question is, can he hold off the other guys? And I talked about it. Watch out for the 87. Here comes Todd Liston. Started in 5th, looking to get to 3rd.
Ooh, and he's got to hold off Piscini. Piscini gets a great run through the center of the turn, drag racing down the backstretch.
Liston gets him. Piscini once in, battling. The 26 of, who is this?
That's Mr. Don Moore.
Started 19th, he is up to 5th. Sitting in an odd position, waiting for another yellow. Banks in 6th, below Piscini. Oh, Piscini, things have really gone the wrong direction.
They sure have right now.
He cannot get into the bottom line.
Eddie feeds SK Modified struggling on that top line right now while he just has 4 cars passing. Think he's going to stop the bleeding here. He's able to get it right down in front of Tristan Martins.
Piscini said, Tristan, I'm coming down.
Here comes Banks making a move on Donnie Moore.
Goes high, Banks gets it. He should be able to close it up. Moore trying to get some momentum out of 4. I don't think that's going to work. Meanwhile, up front, James Lowe, you've been up there the whole time, but now you've got a hungry Shepard behind you. Go ahead.
Now, just looking at what Piscini's doing there on Donnie Moore, he put a little bit of the chrome horn in Donnie, tried to get him out of the way. Donnie gets right back down in front of him. Well, these two having a great battle at the moment.
Single file now all the way back to the field. You got to get all the way back to like, boy, they're single file all the way through. They got to sort it out now. It is Altice in 13th. Joshua Buckley hanging on to that transfer position. We'll keep an eye on all the important spots. James Lowe, notorious for being able to keep the car fast on the low line, which makes sense. Shepard's going to have to go around him the top side. I can guarantee that, or suggest that he go a little higher.
How good has James Lowe been tonight, though? Soup, he really just, it's like he ripped the mirror off and just got down on the throttle and forget about it, man.
And he has not had to do nearly as much racing as Shepard and Banks and Piscini have. They've been battling to get that inside line. Lowe has been up front just hitting his marks. Smooth as a bikini wax right now. Just staying right on target.
Several drivers, I think, who decided to stay on that target. You talk about, Soup, the moment they travel around here in single file fashion, all gripping out low line in the turns.
right on board with Lowe, looking back at the 21st time champ. 21st. Yeah, that's what I said.
21st?
I do not know the ordinal for 21st. I guess 21-time champ J.R. Shepherd.
It sounds so much better when you just do it on one hand. 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. And you have to get to like 3 hands or 4 hands. It's a little tough, Soup.
1 score and 1, baby. James Lowe out in front, holding off the number 98.
Boy, you talked about the accordion at the start of this race. Right now, it's Chris Piscini just all over the bumper. Donnie Moore and the caution's out. And it looks like Dan Butler had a little trouble with the 10 at Justin Allen.
Yeah.
Replay. Justin was coming down the track. Dan Butler gets there at the same time, and they're going to make that contact, and both of them are going to wind up with heavy damage on their cars.
Oh, and Kurt Meeks got a little bit of it going by as well.
I guess the Meek will not inherit the earth, the sea.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm not using that again. I promise. I do promise, Kurt, I won't use that again, okay?
Well, so what do we got to do? We're going to go up, and we're going to look at seeing who's sitting in second, who's sitting in third. Shepard's going to be outside of row 1. Todd Liston, we have not seen him in this position. He's going to be inside of row 2, and so far every restart I've seen has seen the driver in third end up ahead of the driver in second.
That's kind of way it's rolled. Now listen, I honestly think JR hasn't shown his hand yet. He's obviously, nobody takes better care of the right rear tire than JR Shepherd does. He always seems to have something left in the last few laps of the race. So don't count JR out just because he's starting up on that outside line. He'll find a way to get back down. If anybody can, he will. But again, I keep telling you folks, watch out for Donnie Moore at number 26. Irwin Tools, SK Modified. Been hot all night, man. He has picked up 14 spots. He sits just outside of podium finish. And I would say after missing last week's race, Donnie looking for a little vengeance here tonight, and a great way to start the season up in the thick of a championship battle here.
Yeah, he would like to at least hang up, maybe get in front of Shepherd and Banks to start the season. Last time we went green, we talked about who's sitting in the transfer position. It's Joshua Buckley. He was there last time. He's still there. Ruben Altice now is in the 13th position, looking to pick that up. Good job from Buckley.
Yeah, I'm being told to step up my pun game. That was terrible, Soup. So I'm being called out in the peanut gallery right now.
There is no such thing as a terrible pun. That's an oxymoron, man. Any pun is good. All right, boys, let's get this sorted out here in rows of 2.
All right, Soup. I get to sort this out. I get to restart her. Is that what we're doing here?
We're getting close to the time. That's you, baby.
We're there. It's time. All right, as the pace car heads down the back stretch here in Pensacola, Florida, 5 Flag Speedway. Baby, let's drop that disco ball down out of the sky. Everybody, it's an all skate. Let's get ready to boogie. Let's get this party started. Here we go. James Lowe out of turn 4, breaks him loose. J.R. Shepherd with a heck of a run off the top side, tries to get down in front of Liston. Liston pulls up alongside, wheel to wheel, coming out of 2.
Liston hanging in there. Did not get as great a start as we've seen guys from the 3rd position. Shepherd really does not want to get stuck up on top. He wants to get in front of Liston. Liston does not want to let him down. They almost touch a little bit. Shepherd gives him some room. This is the best thing that James Lowe could ask for right now, as he has 5 car lengths ahead of Liston. Shepherd still continuing to race on the top side.
Oh, and big chunk out of 4. Starts with a self-spin. Jeffrey Harden in number 44 starts to spin, and all hell breaks loose behind him, Soup. We got a car upside down, pinned against the fence in turn 4.
And they really piled in.
Joshua Buckley, they got up by the fence. You're going to see the 44 start to spin in the middle of the turn. Did he get any help? I don't think he did. I think he just got a little low. Rear end started to slide out from her. Here we go, right now.
Nice on board. When we look at it again, would be from Dan Butler. He gets in, and then the cars just kind of pile up on him.
I think there might have been help involved with that, maybe.
You're right on board.
Looks like he might have gotten a tap there from Altice.
Pick your racing line, boys and girls. Let me give you a clue. Don't go high. Ow.
Oh. Man, that car stopped quick, too. Oof.
There were a lot of vehicles involved in that one. Well, if you're a Todd Liston fan, I got good news and bad news. The good news is Todd Liston has made it up into second. The bad news is Todd Liston is now in second.
Soup. I couldn't agree with you more. Poor Todd. That didn't even work out for J.R. Shepard, right? So, yeah, it's probably not going to work out for Liston. Now, Shepard, though, could he want to start in a better position than where he's going to start, and that's in third? I mean, really?
Yeah, he's good. He's got to hope here. We're getting down to the closing laps here. He's got to hope that he's in third. He should be able to get Liston, and then hope that we can stay green. And I'm going to do a little bit of soapbox preaching here. If you're racing for 17th position, let's bring it home in 17th. It really doesn't matter if you come home 16th or 17th. Let's see this thing finish under green.
If you're racing for 12th, go.
I will not have a problem if there's an accident, if there's a crash for that transfer position. But if you're in 7th position, I'll be upset. Or if you're in 17th, I'll be upset. Well, I won't be upset. Come on, I'm here short track racing on a Saturday night with my buddy Sean Crackers Ambrose. Life could not be any better than this.
No, sir. Can't. It certainly can't.
This is good news. Okay, here we go. We got 13 laps to go. We don't see many wire-to-wire, and we're not going to see one today. James Lowe started in third, but for the most part, this has been a wire-to-wire. Since he got there, he's been able to stay there. Look at the jump from Liston. He's going to try to change stuff up a little bit. It's not going to help.
Oh, and for all that work, it just stalled out on him. I don't know if he missed a gear or what, but Liston draws back. J.R. Shepard gets away, and now it's a side-by-side fight with Donnie Moore and a number 28.
Good news for Liston, who was able to tuck into third. Shepard goes up to second. That is bad news for James Lowe, because you have a 21-time champion behind you looking to start the season with a win, and he wants it. James Lowe has got to keep that low line, keep that 99 tight to the inside like a small pair of Fruit of the Looms.
And back there, Soup, Tim Shinoski just got by Donnie Moore. All of a sudden, Donnie losing a bunch of position. I think I might have jinxed him.
Andy Tico sits in the transfer position. Good for him. There is a log jab back there for 13th, all trying to get to Tico. 10 to go. 9 to go.
Ooh. Justin Allen almost got into Mike Allen.
Tristan March making a move on the inside for third position. Gets to the inside of Liston. What a great pass from the 28.
Oh,
hasn't finished it yet.
That's a battle of Indiana drivers right there. March, Liston, and Chris Bassini in the mix trying to get one more.
Oh, my goodness. And that's going to bring in the 15 of Bassini. He's going to get that spot as well. Todd Liston started this under green. He was actually out in front. He got such a great jump, but now he's sitting back there in 5th position and dropping.
See, it's about time for you to take this battle for the lead, because I think JR is hungry. I think he's got him in his sights.
One advantage that Lowe has is he hasn't had to work very hard to stay up there. Shepard has had to scramble the entire race.
Did you see Lowe blink?
It blinked a little bit for me. No, he's okay.
Do that again, James.
I think Lowe has better tires, but JR stands for junk rubber. Shepard can race on used up tires better than anybody right now, as he is 2 car lengths back. Kristen Martz has found his way into third around Piscini. Have not talked much about the 28. What a great run from Tristan.
Soup, the kid started 18th.
Staying out of trouble. 4 to go. We are to the point of no return. Let's keep it green. Let's finish under green. 3 laps to go. James Lowe. Careful. Perfectly driving. Finding the spots, coming off a 4, doing everything perfect. Shepard looking for any way around. Is there anything left in that number 98? Down the back straight. 6 more corners to go. Lowe really dives it in, protects that low side. He's got a giant lead now as he sees the white flag. Only a drastic mistake from James will cost him the race. He's got 3 car lengths. He's got 2 car lengths.
Wow.
Out of 4. Let's give the season opener to James Lowe. Shepard will have to take second.
What a race by James Lowe. Wow. Great run tonight for the Virginia driver and J.R. Shepard. Going to have to settle for P2. But the story of the race got to be Tristan Martz, the Indiana driver. Soup, that number 28 SK Modified, started 18th. He gets a podium finish, and I hope we get a chance to talk to him.
And the driver who comes home in the transfer position should be starting on the pole for round number 2. How about Joshua Banks as he comes home in 12th? Yikes. The racing is over here in Florida, but you know what's up. Our broadcast is long from done. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back to run down the entire field, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on 5 flags. Back in a few. Sponsored by the Cruise Shop, sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League. You're watching the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the Outlaw Modified Series. It's a brand new season, 2019, the spring edition. And we are here at Five Flags, and the results are in. Let's give those to you now. James Shepard started in third, worked his way to the front fairly quickly, and then was able to hold, James Lowe was able to hold a nice, force of habit. Shepard did not win, but it still comes out. Was able to hold a nice tight inside line and picks up the win. GSRC, tried as he might, could only get second position. Here's Sean. This is the guy we were talking about. We take a little break that we were saying maybe had the race of the night. Tristan Martz comes from 18th up into third. Well, that's great. I hope Tristan comes in and talks to us. Chris Vicini comes home in fourth. Tim Shanoski after him. Back half of your top 10. Donnie Moore, Mark Herzog, Ruben Altice, Kenny Kibbe, and Todd Liston, who raced up front for a while, had a taste of the lead for about a breath, finishes 10th.
All right, Soup, I'll get the rest of this field for us now. The New Yorker, Andy Tico. He started 22nd. He'll finish 11th tonight, and for his efforts, he'll start on the front row next week. We go to that transfer position. It's going to be Joshua Banks. Didn't have the best night, but he does get a finish that will yield him a starting spot on the pole next week. Then we go back to 13th, and that's going to be the hard luck finish there for Justin Allen. He did pick up 8 spots, but Justin was involved in a lot of junk tonight, and he'll finish 13th. Jeffrey Harden finishing 14th, a little bit better than he did last week for the number 44 SK Modified. Matthew Aubrey. A little rough and tumble for Matthew tonight, unfortunately. Welcome to the Bootleg Racing League. He'll finish 15th. Dan Butler will finish 16th in his number 22 SK Modified. That orange SK got bounced around a bit also, Soup. Mike Allen in a number 59. Well, a little bit of a roller reversal from the last time we saw Mike. He's going to finish 17th tonight with a rough night for himself. Scotty Zerk, fellow Virginian back there in the 02. He'll finish 18th. Joshua Buckley going to finish 19th tonight. Jason Menda. Poor Jason. Fast in practice. Last during the race. Not dead last, but pretty far back there. He didn't have a good night. Number 45 finishes 20th. Kurt Meeks, 21st for the number 18. Kurt Smith. Horrible night for Kurt. He just involved in way too much. Was up on his lid at one point. He'll finish 22nd. And wrapping up the 23 card field, it's going to be Mr. John Hine. We're giving John a pass on this one. He wasn't quite up to speed tonight, mentally, physically, or here on the track. So, John, you get a pass. We'll see you next week. Soup, you have caught up with James Lowe, the man of the hour.
James Lowe, the winner of the race tonight. James, I have talked about it before. I've made a pun with your last name, but you are good at hanging onto that low line, and you did it tonight. There was no way you're going to let JR get underneath you.
Yeah, the car was really hooked up tonight. Never really had any trouble. There was a couple times where the car pushed up, but other than that, I ran about 98 laps of good laps there.
Did you notice that on about every restart you had somebody different on your right-hand side? They just kept coming, and they would you'd get a great start, and then the third position would beat the second position for that spot.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate for JR and Joshua. It seemed like they were stuck out there a lot on these restarts, which worked out good for me. But yeah, it was a lot of restarts, and it worked out for me.
There was one restart near the end, and I don't even know if you were able to see it because the vision in these cars aren't really great. But Liston got a good jump on you one time, but then either he missed a shift or he just didn't get it to go, or maybe he lifted because he thought he was going to get a black flag penalty. Were you aware that he was out in front of you on one of those starts?
Yeah, I saw him jump out there, but I wasn't too worried about it having the inside line. And then I knew once we got to the corner, he'd be in big trouble up there on the outside.
Yeah. All right, well, you get the win, so I know some things for certain. You will be at the top of the point standings when we go to round 2. Here's another thing for certain. You'll be well back in the order when you start. So let's get it to the end for the second round, okay?
Yeah, that's the plan for next week, is just to follow JR up through there. And I'd also like to thank Joel Lowell for putting the series on, Cruise Shop for helping us out, and all the good drivers.
Congratulations on the win. Sean, that's James makes a good point. Not only does he win, but he has J.R. Shepard behind him, which means that when we go to round 2, he can just follow Shepard right through the field.
Right,
Let JR
right.
lead him right up.
Let JR be the battering ram. Sure.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of the battering ram himself, here is Mr. J.R. Shepard. I don't think anyone's ever accused you of being a battering ram, JR. But listen, congratulations on what is another podium finish. How tough was it to actually to pass James there at the end? Was there any opportunity for you?
Yeah, it was, at this track, Five Flags is a great track, but with these SK Modifieds being a momentum type car and with the way the tires are, everybody was under a blanket lap time wise, so it was so hard to try to get a run on somebody in the short run. If it went green for 40 or 50 laps, I might have had a shot at it. He was pushing pretty hard there, I think, but no, he did a great job, and there was no way I was going to get around him in a short run.
Let's talk about the restarts tonight. That outside line, just garbage, wasn't it?
It was, and it's really unfortunate. It didn't used to be. I don't know if the setups have changed or the track state with the way the marbles are on the track. I don't know what it is, but with these SK Modifieds, the outside does not work at all. So, yeah, it's unfortunate when you get stuck out there, because if the inside line gets lined up, you're going to just continue to lose positions.
Right now, we haven't seen that at all the tracks, though. I think specifically tonight, Five Flags, it seemed to be a pretty evident problem that you got started up there, you were in trouble. Poor Todd Liston, he kept dropping like a rock all night every time he got shuffled up there.
Yeah, for sure. I know the race here last season was about the same way. I think I'd made it up to second place at some point during the race and fell back to ninth because I was on the outside. So I don't know. It just seems to be this track with this car. Hopefully the other tracks have multiple grooves, or at least have a way where you can race each other going forward.
Well, I'm sure if they do, you'll find it. Congratulations on a podium finish here to get things started. Great way to start season 2 here in 2019. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go, JR?
Yeah, definitely thank BRL and Lowell for everything he does, allowing us to do this each and every week. Congratulations to James. You ran a great race. I didn't see him make too many mistakes out there, so he was the guy to beat tonight, and to Tristan for coming home in third, and of course to the cruise shop for being a great partner with us. And we'll see you guys next week.
We certainly will, J.R. Shepard, next week for you, sir. Travel safe, and we'll see you then. Soup, you have caught up, I believe, with Joshua Banks, who, well, himself had a pretty good solid run tonight.
He did for a while. He was racing up front, Joshua. Then you got caught in a 3-wide situation, and I thought your car was heading to the wall. You got it gathered up, but when it was all said and done, you ended up back in 12th, which I guess isn't the worst-case scenario.
Nah, not really. I mean, main reason for it is because I just let everybody go because I knew I wasn't going to be gaining much in a situation with less than 10 to go. There was a freight train going on behind me, so I was like, I'll just let everybody go, try to get the pole position spot and get a pole spot next week. Hopefully do better there. But it's just tough racing. The outside line just wouldn't go. The bottom line was preferred line, so when stuff like that happened, it wasn't easy, and most of our restarts were on the high side, so it just died. But it's just the first race of the season, so hopefully we can come strong next week.
Yeah, it really was a roll of the dice. And I think you made it. Did you finally get up to second? I think you finally had a restart up on the outside of row 1. Did you get that far up?
Did at the beginning, and then after that, it was downhill from there, my personal opinion. Every time we get a good run, we'd get up to about 4th or 3rd, and that battle with JR there was a lot of fun. And unfortunately, though, he got the better end of the end before the caution come out. But ever since then, I think right there is when it really started going downhill, because every restart was either 4th or 6th, so it wasn't fun, I'll tell you that.
We understand. Well, it's a long season, and you'll be starting on the pole for round 2. Let's get some points, come home with a wire-to-wire, and we'll see you right back up in the point standings.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.
There you go. That is Joshua. Pardon and thanks Banks as he comes home in 12th position. But not to worry, he'll be back next round, and he'll be a contender for that. With Joshua's interview, I think we're going to be done. So let's go ahead and thank all the people that make this possible. Thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more information about Bootleg Racing League, check them out on Facebook. That would be Bootleg Racing League, or simply bootlegracingleague.com. Thanks to the series sponsor, the Cruise Shop. Give them a call at 260-755-6125 or visit them online at thecruiseshopfw.com. On screen now are some of the equipment and software we use to stream cyberspace into your place. Special thanks to June Lalonde, who provides our wonderful music. See the screen to how to contact her and get a hold of all of her great work. The Bootleg Racing League returns for round 2 from Myrtle Beach. GSRC will be there. We hope you join us. Sliding across your screen right now are some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it at Global SimRacing Channel, or try us on one of these social media options: Twitter, GSR Channel, Facebook, Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Gram. Also, if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by hitting the big red button on our YouTube page. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Sean, Joe, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle as James Lowe picks up the first win of the season here at Five Flags. Until then, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.